Okay. Good. What's up, beautiful people? I want to get with you a little something on something a little quick. Something that has always been and always will be very dear to me, and that's the marital union. Um, a lot of people believe, and I've heard some church people say, that marriage doesn't work because of the failures in marriage. And if you look at the divorce rate paints a what would appear to be a pretty logical picture in and of itself that marriage don't work. But it's disturbing to me when I hear that a God ordained institution does not work. That bothers me because if it is ordained by God, then it has to work. There is no failure. But for the most part, I think this is what the issue is. Marriage in and of itself is not the end of the process. Marriage is the beginning. A lot of people don't follow the guidelines given by God for marriage. And I won't go into any real in-depth detail, but anytime there is the idea that two people should be virgins when married, there's a reason for that. And like I said, I won't go into any detail of that. Most of that is pretty obvious. But when we don't, and we date around, we're pushed by lust, consumed by it sometimes, and we decide that we're gonna do it our way. Then we finally decide, well, we want to get serious. I want this to work out. And then when it don't work out, then we want to say marriage doesn't work. Then we want to blame God. We want to blame the marriage institution, when in reality, you broke code. See, and when you break code, there has to be some consequence for it. That's life. Life is full of consequences. For every action, there's a reaction. So, you know what's harder than being a virgin? And what they would say, not getting none and holding out and waiting for the right person. You know what's harder? Having to become a virgin again. And it's possible. It's possible to take all your hurt, all your frustration, all your anger, all those feelings that you carry around. Some people are so in so much pain that they pretty much written men and women off. Even the idea of marriage is no longer part of their thinking process. But all of that is because you built these walls up of all these insecurities and all these pains and distrust, and you're living behind those walls. But this is the tough part. You have to tear those walls down. When those walls are tore down, that means you have to become open. You have to be willing to trust again. You have to be willing to give your heart again. You can become a virgin again. Now, the fact that you have to break down these walls and you have to put in all this work to position yourself to be back and take a chance on loving somebody else again, that's the price we all have to pay. Because we broke code. We didn't do it the way God ordained it to be done. And because we didn't, we gather in, we take on all these insecurities, and we find these ways, these coping mechanisms to deal with our feelings when we've been hurt or when we've hurt other people. So in reality, becoming a virgin again is a good thing. It's tough. It's hard because you have to put yourself back out there. You have to be willing to trust again. But what does it do? It points you right back to your source again. Are you going to trust God? The Bible says what God has put together, let no man put asunder. The question is, did God put you together with whoever your spouse is, whoever it is you're intended, or whoever it is, did God put you together? Because relationship is relationship. It's going to work out. It's going to work. People are going to come together. But did God put you together? See, some people might like a person because of his finances. She might have a big booty. She might have a big chest. He cute. Look at his eyes. I mean, he got brown eyes. I mean, all those things are not essential to determining that God has sent this person to you, or he sent you in the development of a marriage. See, when you get married, whatever problems you have before, you're going to have after. After you get married, the only thing that changes is the third finger on your left hand. That's it. Everything else will be what it is. Work have to be put in. You have to put in the work. You have to do what you have to do. And when you are married and you fail at it, now believe me, when you're married and you fail at it, you have to be willing to trust again. It's not easy living behind a heart that has been broken. That's tough. That's tough having to try to live behind that. It's not easy. But way back deep down inside in your heart, there's something that urges and still wants to feel love, experience love, pass love on. In order to do that, you have to become a virgin again. You have to open yourself up again to new experiences, new love, new trust. All this is necessary. With God, it's all possible.